in order to remotely pick up on someone's neural network or EEG, and not only receive that and monitor it, but manipulate it and place it back into the victim to control their emotions or control their actions or bodily functions, for that matter. The other more recent term we have for that is EEG heterodyning or EEG cloning. The difference between EEG heterodyning and EEG cloning would be, let's say, me remotely receiving your EEG and then duplicating it and putting that in another person to give them your same thoughts or feelings or physical reactions. EEG heterodyning would be receiving your EEG, manipulating it to put it back inside your head to give us a desired physical reaction or emotional reaction.
Brains. And so this gets into what's called there are four different techniques and technologies that can pipe voices into an individual's head. And once you can do that, you can control them using neuro-linguistic programming techniques. You're rewiring their thought processes and brains. And so this gets into what's called offensive information warfare. And they used it, I believe, in the Gulf War to tell the enemy at that time, lay down your guns, this is Allah. And it worked pretty well, because hearing voices which have no direction or sound, you have to assume that it's some spiritual entity. So it works pretty well. And then, I don't know if I'm going to get into this, but there's something called hyper game theory. How do you, they want to see if they can manipulate people to do things that are irrational, but also walk them to their death. And so you can call it a eugenics program even. And they need to sample all cultures, language throughout the world to define their probability matrices of which tricks, techniques, deception works. So how do you control a brain? Most people won't.
Malodorants. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and videos in my
tactic of belief systems into human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
Somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. Like, it's disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing.
And even though that attacks continue, I don't let them get me. Today, they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use. A people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals.
So, I will never let these people live their fantasy. You see this little baby over there? All the way over there. Listen, they've been throughout the day forcing me to have this disgusting reaction. I mean, the way they're playing my libido is just ridiculous. You know, and they make me have this same reaction that you have been vocalizing and articulating, in the sense that they do these things. You know, these perps next door, right? They do these things where they're supposed to make you acceptive of this. They want me to feel guilty for the things they make me experience. I have no doubt they're forcing me to have this experience. It's a falsified experience. It's an experience that they've been doing to others, not just me. Matter of fact, the way they made me have this perception of this, they brought up a false memory where they manipulate me to have this memory with this version of reaction that they make me have today. Bringing that up, I was like, no, but you remember in that memory you had the experience. No, this is the falsified memory, which if you go look it up, I have a memory called military, and it's how like they made me saw this kid. Well, made me saw how they made me have the memory of how I saw this little kid. There was this little black girl like that, and giving me this false sensation estimation in my memories. And then they send these perps, right? They like, and they act really like in character. Oh, this yellow and map it. They're almost like children that want you to identify with this manipulation. Now, with me, it's just too much. I've been clear that I will never identify from the false memory, the current experiences, and I've been making videos from that goes back a while that kind of describe this tendency and the same patterns they do, which is falsifying my current experiences, falsifying my memories, falsify my reaction today, and falsify how they want me to accept this. Right? But in fact, in this picture, because there's another picture where you see this little girl just try to like moving her leg there. It's like, no, but in that picture there, that's true. It's like, these people are trash. Right? The truth is, the only reason why I'm experiencing this is because they manipulate me. And then they go into the memories they've manipulated, they've falsified, bring that as their validation that, listen, this is something we mapped before. See this memory that is a memory that we falsified? Yeah, that's proof. Right? And then these preps tell me I'm going to be tortured and I'm going to be castrated. I'm going to be castrated. It's like, I'd rather rot. I would be castrated than work for governmental entity and live a life where my life consists of literally forcing men and women to have reactions that you just heard toward children. These people live a life that's so disgusting but so easy at the same time. I'm hearing this childlike person. It's like, oh, we're gonna watch you rat. I was like, you know how easy for you it would be to die? It would be so easy. I know right now you love because it's so easy. But that moment comes when it's time for you to go home and you play this file, you're gonna get chores in ways that's so magical, but you're nothing. These people are bottom feeders. Bottom feeders working for freaking pedophiles. These governmental entities are filled with pedophiles. I'm so thankful I have this as validation to also see them in the right way. These people are working for governmental entities that are so pedophilia centric that there's a whole bill created to minimize the amount of pedophilia ongoing in these agencies. And they contract this loser of human beings that live day in and day out. And when I mean loser, let me just say, they get a lot of incentives that might not even just be financial, because even be able to control a human being on its own is an experience that must be that many would want to have. But control people in this disgusting ways is the foulest part. They are forcing you to have this nasty manipulation that you've heard that they do to others. And then they send this, I call them the Navy SEAL of retardations. And I'm not even trying to be insultive. They have this fake, intense, like, ways of trying to, like, be acting like this. So it's so proof that we so mapping. They better not play this game in front of me, because you just heard what validation we have. They're manipulating so much. And my memories have been manipulated, and I've been clearly addressing that, saying my memories have been manipulated. This is a falsified memories. What they're doing is they look at where there's a baby, right, a black little girl, add the stimulation of memories, bring that memory up with the stimulation, say, oh, we mapped it. And they give me the stimulation that in that memory that they gave me today. And then they have these clowns contracted to gaslight you into accepting these false memories, these false reactions. However, I'm gonna die. God give me strength. But I just want to say thank you that I didn't have to live a life, or did not live a life where I am. My life is dedicated to make somebody have reaction to children, and then try to convince that person that this reaction that we are forcing him to experience or her to experience is something that he should identify with, even though with all the validation that they were manipulating his thoughts, manipulating his reactions, and manipulating his memories. I've been validated to the nth degree, and not only that, I work, me and this group of people I'm working with, work for governmental entities that have been showing clear patterns of pedophilia. A big issue with pedophilia, and I'm supposed to counter that. God, thank you. I will never let this low life live their fantasy, and I will never identify with any of this nasty manipulation. You know what they do? In the hallways, I heard somebody start playing with the keys. They love to do that, right? They make you have this reaction. Somebody throws the keys, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they heard that stuff. Trash ass, clown ass, trash. You work for pedophiles, you nasty shit. This is the things they do. I rather get raped every day of my life than do the things that these trash do. Try to make somebody identify with something I know is being manipulated in that person, and then I play my keys like a fucking retard. Target individuals stay strong and see this low life where they are.